I love small, simple solo games. Sometimes I play them to relax instead of reading a book or playing a video game. And one of the calmest games I've ever played is A Gentle Rain, which I discovered in 2022 and is now back in print with a new publisher. This is a snap review for the new edition of A Gentle Rain, now published by Incredible Dream and illustrated by W. Kozira. A Gentle Rain was designed by Kevin Wilson. It's intended for a single player, age 8 and up, although you can play cooperatively with a friend or two. Whether you play solo or in a group, a game lasts 15 minutes or less. So let's talk about the art here. The game is simple tiles with cutouts in the corners, and there are these round blossom tokens in 8 colors. Everything has been refreshed in this new edition. There are really cool details on the tiles that make it feel more like a lake. There's fish and cute little ducks, and the flower tokens match the tiles very nicely. But that's not what you really want to know. What you want to know is how to play this game. So let's dive into the mechanics of A Gentle Rain. Shuffle the lake tiles and stack them in a pile face down. Now, take a deep breath and turn over the first tile, placing it anywhere on the table. Draw the next tile from the stack and place it so that it touches the first tile along a matching flower edge. Draw the next tile and look for a place where it will match one or more flowers. All the edges that touch must always match. If you manage to complete a square of 4 tiles, you'll see a little circle made by their cutout corners. Pick an unused flower token that matches one of the 4 flowers surrounding this circle and place it there. A blossom has opened on the lake. Of course, if all the flower tokens matching these colors have already been played, the circle has to stay empty. When you place the 8th blossom on the lake, you've won. Count up the unplayed tiles left in the draw pile and add 8 for the number of blossoms you placed. If you run out of tiles before all the blossoms are placed, your score is just the number of blossoms that you managed. But don't worry, you can always return to the lake and try again. So, what did I expect from A Gentle Rain? I was intrigued by this game when I first heard of it back in early 2022. It seemed like it was a hit with everyone who tried it, and it was just really hard to get your hands on a copy. I did eventually get my own copy, and I've played that one at least 20 times. I was excited to see this new edition coming out from Incredible Dream, so many more gamers could enjoy this chill game. And that's the first surprise. This really is an incredibly chill and relaxing game. It reminds me a bit of Lanterns, the Harvest Festival. As you place tiles, of course you're looking for the best placement, but you can also just enjoy the pretty patterns that you're making out on the table. And A Gentle Rain gives you lots of little wins. Every time I make a match on multiple edges of a tile, or I open up a blossom by making just the right placement, I feel a little bit of joy. The other surprises in this new edition mostly have to do with the components. I do like this box style, but I don't like the new flower illustrations quite as much as the old ones. They're more polished, but they're also more similar to each other, so I really have to depend on the flower color, not the pattern, to match the tokens to the tiles. And I am unreasonably irritated about the little nubs on the sides of all the tiles here. It keeps them from sitting flush with each other, and I think I'm actually going to sand them off so that I can enjoy this game as it was meant to be played. But none of that should stop you from trying this game. My opinion of the new art is just that. It's my opinion. And it's worth it to make this game actually be available again. I recommend A Gentle Rain for people who want to dip their toe into solo gaming with a low-stress environment. It's beautiful, it's intuitive to play, it's in a small box that's easy to throw in a bag, and you can play it on a small table. This isn't a gripping theme, but the puzzle itself feels just right. Like I mentioned, even if you don't win the game, you still get a small rush every time you get a little bit closer, making a clever tile placement or putting out a blossom. And it's easy enough to share, taking turns with your child or asking their advice while they're watching you play. I rate A Gentle Rain 4.5 blossoms out of 5. That's A Gentle Rain, in a snap.